Snow White is actually written by Greta Gerwig, who also wrote Barbie and Lady Bird and Princess Ha, and we've been talking about her a lot recently because of Barbie, but also she's one of my favorite writers and directors. I've liked her since high school, so this pains me because what she is doing with Snow White seems absolutely terrible.
Dude, I trusted you. I trusted her.
Because she's involved, I want to believe that this movie will have some redeeming qualities. Will I actually watch it? Probably not. But I hope that it does for those of you who do watch it. But the lead actresses, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, are making it very, very difficult for me to believe that there is anything redeeming about this project whatsoever. Now, I am sure that we have all seen this viral clip, but let's just watch again.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be,
Oh.
and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Oh my god, it's a really incredible story. You're making this girl boss story based on an important father figure. Her father tells her to be brave and strong. Don't you think that there's something redeeming about men in the story? It just stood out to me. This is the first time I noticed that, even though I've watched this like 6 times now.
Just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
I am. Why do they look so smug? They both have that look on their face, just like the feminists, like, yeah, we're so much better than you. Anyway.
Recent events have added a new twist to the story of Snow White and the heated rivalry between Brett Cooper and Rachel Zegler. Brett Cooper, a YouTube personality, found herself in the spotlight not just for her role in a rival adaptation of Snow White by the Daily Wire, but also for the controversial circumstances of her exit from the company. Reports suggest she was forced out in what insiders described as a hostile war. Cooper has remained silent, sparking speculation about the Daily Wire's financial struggles and the erratic behavior of CEO Jeremy Boyle. Despite these challenges, Cooper's casting as Snow White has been celebrated by fans longing for a return to the classic tales, magic, and romance. Her faithful approach has drawn praise, much to the dismay of Rachel Zegler. Zegler, who faced backlash for her modern, feminist take on the character, labeled her critics as outdated. Her fiery comments have only fueled the controversy. This is more than just a tale of two Snow Whites. It's a cultural clash exposing deep divisions in Hollywood and beyond. With the Daily Wire's financial woes adding drama, the battle for Snow White has reached new heights, captivating fans and critics alike. The question remains, did Disney go too far in rewriting a beloved classic, or is Brett Cooper's traditional take exactly what audiences want? Buckle up, this story is far from over.
Going in that trailer, and I'm still like so excited and I get chills.
There I am, Gary, there I am.
The whole thing is just so cool. The moment when the music starts to crescendo as I turn around, when I first heard the music, I was like, stop right there. That's just so amazing. Funnily enough, I recorded the song without hearing the rest of the trailer's score, so I had no idea what it would sound like. I had no idea what Jeremy and his team were envisioning, and he was actually writing the song and writing the music in between takes while he was directing Pendragon. We were texting back and forth trying to figure out the right key and what it was going to sound like, and he was sending me messages like, I'm so sorry, I'm in the middle of, a glacier valley in Italy, and my songs aren't going through, but we figured it out.
And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. I don't
The
know.
sizzle, we didn't see anything.
Adding to the events have added the Daily Wire, the story of Snow White, and the heated rivalry between Brett Cooper. Rumors suggest CEO Jeremy Boyle has been YouTube personalities, found herself in the spotlight not just rises. In this turmoil adds another layer by Daily Wire, also find controversy rival message of her ex-time is critical. Reports suggest to the spotlight, tension is described as a house-racist question. Cooper has remained silent, sparking speculation about could this virus affect her stability and the erratic behavior, or will it solidify her as a visit? Despite these challenges, Cooper's casting as Snow White, the Daily Wire celebrated by fans longing for a return to the classic tales, magic, and entertainment. Her meanwhile, Cooper's faithful Snow White, much to the dismay of Rachel, for honoring the Zegler, who faced back. The question is whether the feminist buyer can recover from these label her issues and maintain its place in her fiery comments have only fueled the let's take a step back to fully. This is more than just a tale of two Snow Whites. It's a cultural clash exposing deep divisions in Hollywood and beyond. With the Daily Wire's financial woes adding drama, the battle for Snow White has reached new heights, captivating fans and critics alike. The question remains, did Disney go too far in rewriting a beloved classic, or is Brett Cooper's traditional take exactly what audiences want? Buckle up, this story is far from over.
So much has gone on. Trailers have come out. Like, that's crazy pants. Are you kidding me? I'm like,
I never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats! Someone save me, but not a prince! Don't. Anybody but a prince! Don't you dare save me.
Well, what's so neat is she's like, I'm getting these death threats, and cops were like, well, save yourself.
Yeah, you're a ghost, aren't you?
I saw that interview. Save yourself. You'll be fine.
What is this movie all about? Like, what started it off? Where did you get the first idea for it? And what are you hoping to accomplish with this one?
So we got the idea for it literally the day that Rachel Zegler did an interview in which she said that she hated the original Snow White and wanted to rip the guts out of it.
Weird.
And then Disney released those ridiculous cast photos of dwarves that were not dwarves. The multiracial, multi-ethnic, tall people, and one dwarf. This is how we make decisions at the Daily Wire. I literally just emailed that to my business partner, Jeremy Boring, and I was like, we should do something like this. And Jeremy's like, okay, we're just gonna make Snow White, but we're gonna do it to all the specs, with music, with singing, with the original storyline in classic fashion that imbibes from the original well of the values. Specifically because if Disney wants to cede that field to us, we'd be fools not to take it. And we're kind of shocked by the fact that no other studio
expected the reaction that came with the Disney version of Snow White. There's certainly been people who have been less enthusiastic about the live action remakes they've done. I'm definitely one of them. It was very much a case of, okay, here comes another one. Then they cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White, and you think, okay, well, it's a race swap of the character, and it seems a bit nonsensical given the nature of the Germanic legend. But okay, fine.
And the name of the movie, and the plot of the movie, and
exactly.
The fact that if you want, like, I don't care about the skin color of the characters, but when the literal line from the movie is "skin as white as snow,"
yeah,
and that's why her name is Snow White.
At first glance, this may seem like a case of two actresses with conflicting creative visions. But a closer look reveals that Zegler's reaction is less about storytelling principles and more about public approval. When celebrated as a rising Disney star, Zegler now faces a reputational crisis after her dismissive comments about the original Snow White alienated fans. Enter Brett Cooper, an outsider with a politically charged platform who has embraced Snow White with genuine enthusiasm for the classic tale. Cooper's rising popularity appears to threaten Zegler, who may see it as a risk to her relevance. The timing of Zegler's criticisms, just as Cooper gains momentum, feels like an attempt to undermine the competition. Zegler's portrayal has been criticized for being overly modernized and disconnected from the character's roots. Her comments about hating the original film haven't held. In contrast, Cooper's reverence for the original material has resonated with audiences. This rivalry reflects deeper ideological differences, with Cooper championing tradition and Zegler pushing for modern reinvention. Instead of healthy debate, this looks like a desperate attempt by Zegler to reclaim the spotlight.
I'm also really tired. I never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And maybe that's a weird takeaway.
Even more bad news for Disney's Snow White remake coming out next year.
I'm a narcissist.
There's another Snow White movie competing with it. It's called Snow White and the Evil Queen, and the producer promises to be more faithful to the spirit of the original animated classic.
Walt once said about Snow White, to me, I thought it was the perfect story. Unfortunately, the company Disney founded doesn't agree with their founder.
Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot interview talking about this dumbass new Snow White live action movie is so funny. Everyone working on this movie seems to hate the original. Why didn't we just make a brand new movie? I don't know, Jack. I ask that every single time I do one of these episodes. I would really, really love to know. There's a couple of TikToks. I mean, they've been all over my For You page right now, which I really appreciate.
Adriana Caselotti walked so that you could run Miss Ma'am. This role would not exist for you if that role had not existed for her in 1937. I know that you've rewritten it, and it's going to be about a Snow White that don't need no man to save her. Did you ever stop to think that in this day and age, that is exactly what we want? There are women in this world who want that fairy tale because all they've known is the exact opposite. And there are women who don't want to hear about rescuing themselves because they do it all the time. You are talking down on the first full-length animated feature in history. Generations upon generations, decades upon decades of Snow White being Snow White. The way you're stomping around complaining, you're acting like a toddler. You are a toddler.
It's such a good TikTok. Everything she said is so accurate, right down to saying women do not want to rescue themselves, because that's what we do literally every single day. Thank you, feminism. Thank you very, very much. Maybe we don't want to see that in a movie.
How has Brett Cooper's faithful approach amplified the backlash against Zegler's modern vision? Cooper's portrayal of Snow White pays homage to the Brothers Grimm tale and Disney's original classic. Rooted in values like love, kindness, and resilience, her performance has been praised, respecting the story's legacy. Fans call it heartfelt and authentic, expressing relief that someone is finally honoring the character's origins. In contrast, Zegler's modernized take focuses on a fiercely independent Snow White who rejects romance and prioritizes leadership. This shift has drawn heavy criticism for straying too far from the original themes. Zegler's public disdain for the 1970s film has only intensified the backlash. Cooper's respectful approach sharpens the criticism against Zegler, positioning her as out of touch with her audience. Fans, frustrated with Hollywood's trend of reinventing classics, see Cooper as a champion of tradition. The contrast in public perception is stark. Where Cooper is seen as warm and genuine, Zegler's dismissive comments have alienated fans. Cooper's approach has reignited nostalgia for classic storytelling, standing as a cultural statement against constant reinvention. Her success highlights how deeply connected audiences are to timeless stories and the risks of modernizing them beyond recognition.
I like the beginning.
In time, a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time
Brings me back to my childhood.
is gone.
No freaking way! No! Yo! Brett Cooper?
No way. Hold on. So Brett Cooper, if you were watching this, Isaac cried.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a lot of millions of men that cried.
Yeah.
But Isaac is one of them. But this says Snow White and the Evil Queen coming Bentkey. I guess that's like a production company they have.
No, that's their new children's program. So Daily Wire just released an entire children's section.
Okay, yeah, right. But it's coming in 2024, which the other Snow White movie is supposed to come in 2024 as well.
She's so hot.
Is she?
I'm a narcissist. Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part. That people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I say, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic
Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Why might Rachel Zegler see Brett Cooper's portrayal as a threat? Cooper's faithful interpretation directly challenges Zegler's modern vision, exposing its controversial nature. By embracing the original Snow White story, Cooper highlights how far Zegler's version strays from what fans love. This contrast has left Zegler defensive and possibly insecure. Zegler's version emphasizes independence and leadership, rejecting traditional romance. But Cooper's portrayal reaffirms the timeless appeal of love, innocence, and kindness. For Zegler, this threatens not only her portrayal but also her public image as a progressive storyteller. Zegler's criticism of the original film and admission of disliking it alienated many fans. Meanwhile, Cooper's reverence for history positions her as a champion of tradition. This makes Zegler's comments seem dismissive and out of touch. Fans now view Cooper as a more authentic steward of the Snow White legacy, intensifying the scrutiny on Zegler. The rivalry reflects a broadened ideological clash between preserving classic storytelling and modern reinvention. Cooper's traditional approach has captivated audiences, challenging the necessity of Zegler's modern narrative. As Cooper continues to win support, Zegler's criticisms risk backfiring, further eroding her credibility.
Tweeted out and said, I like learning about the Snow White movie and realizing that Peter Dinklage took roles away from hardworking actors who have dwarfism so that he could pretend that he helped others by bitching. And then another person said, hey Snow White fans, if you were looking forward to the new live-action Snow White and don't know the whole story, you can thank Peter Dinklage for this. He felt threatened by anybody his height getting a dwarf role because people might realize that he is overrated. So obviously, I had to look at this and did a little Google searching, and I found this article from 2022. Peter Dinklage says the 7 dwarfs are an insult, but the reality is more complex. So the article says, during a conversation regarding Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, Dinklage praised Disney for casting a Latina actress as Snow White, but condemned them for continuing to present what he believed were outdated stereotypes. Now, this interview happened in January of 2022. It was published in February, but this happened in January. The article goes on, and they quote Dinklage saying, literally, no offense to anything. No, you're taking offense. But I was sort of taken aback.
And there you have it, Rachel Zegler vs. Brett Cooper, a clash of visions and ideologies. Zegler's harsh criticism of Cooper's Snow White may stem from insecurity or fear of being overshadowed, while Cooper's faithful portrayal has gained massive support, exposing cracks in Zegler's modernized approach. This isn't just about two actresses. It's a cultural bet over tradition versus innovation and what audiences truly want from their stories. Will Disney's Snow White falter and in the weight of controversy, or will the Daily Wire's traditional take prove stronger? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Zegler or Team Cooper? Don't hold back. Subscribe to Vogue for and filter takes on Hollywood's biggest controversies. Until next time, keep questioning the stories you